Okay, it's been a couple of days later, and I decided to take all these cells and mount them in parallel, as you see here. I've got some really nice little nickel strips and a whole bunch of these cool little magnets. And I've got them all mounted in parallel right now. And I did hook a 12-volt light up to it to drain them down a little bit. And I got them drained down probably a little bit farther than I wanted. I got 36 cells right here in this row, and then I got three left over that I'm not going to use because it messed the number up. But I'm going to eventually build a 12 volt 3S pack out of these at some point. But as I said, I drained them down and I think I got them too far. We'll take a look and see what the ANOVA is going to say on this subject. So I'll just grab one here. They should all read exactly the same. And that's what they've been reading for 2 days. So I'm at a resting voltage of 2.98 volts. And when I put these all in parallel a few days ago, I discovered that one of the cells had dropped quite a bit farther down than the others, and that's going to be this one right on the end. As you can see, it's not connected up. It's completely separated, and it's on the end there, but I'm going to go ahead and connect it up. It was a few days ago reading 2.86 volts, and that was quite a bit lower than the 3 plus volts that all these others had. So I don't know if something is going on with it, if it's dropping or if it just never got charged up. I just don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it up and then let this whole thing sit for another whole day and equal out, and we'll see what we got. And eventually I'm going to hook these up to the solar panels. The solar panel, I only got one. And in a couple of days on my day off, because I'd like to bring them back up to over 3 volts, because more than likely I'm going to be storing these for most of the summer as I go in to have my surgery. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to build a pack out of these until after that's all done. And so I want to get them up over 3 volts, probably 3.3 or 3.4, and store them for the next couple of months and kind of go from there. So I thought I'd put this little pack of 3 cells on the iMax here. Just stuck it on here a few minutes ago, and it's went from 2.98 volts already to 3.18 volts. So I'm not going to leave it on there very long. I'm going to get it up to about 3.3 volts and then stop it, and then we're just going to hold this thing as well at that voltage until I find a time or a desire to do something with it. Might build another little auxiliary pack like that, perhaps. I don't know. I'm kind of not able to really concentrate on all this stuff now with these impending surgeries I got going. So that is it for now. Alrighty, good morning. It's the next morning now, and I have let these things sit overnight. So I'm about to check them. When I left them 12 hours ago or so, they were holding at 2.99 volts. Let's see where they're at now. Alright, let's check our voltage here. 2.99. Alrighty, just as I thought. Okay, so I don't think there's any reason to leave these sitting in parallel any longer. Okay, I've separated the individual S packs now, so I've got 36 cells, 12 cells in each pack, and eventually this will make a 12 volt 3S pack. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pull all my magnets and my nickel strips off so that each individual cells are no longer in contact with each other. And then I'm going to let them sit for the next 72 hours. That'll be my next opportunity to do the solar charging. So I'm going to let them sit. I know that's not enough time to see if anything is going to start dropping or not. But that's just the best I can do right now. This is a problem cell, so we'll check this out in 72 hours and make sure it hasn't dropped below 2.99 or any of them. But as I said, 72 hours really isn't enough time to let them sit. But that's just what I got to work with. So, and at that point I'll put them all together in the 3S pack and put the nickel strips and the magnets back and build a little temporary 12 volt pack and hook them up to the solar panel if I got nice sunshine. Not sure if I'm going to have good sunshine, but and we'll charge them up and try to get them up to about 3.3 volts, and then that'll be the resting volt, and we'll just leave them at that point and come back after I've gotten my surgeries all done and fool around with them and see if they're still holding at that point. So that's the plan for now. Alright, I've removed all my magnets and nickel strips there. If I remember to, and I'll try to remember to, provide a link in the description for both of these. And I've put my battery pack together in a temporary way without the magnets and nickel strips on them. When I do go to build this battery bank, I'm going to change this configuration somewhat, because I'll solder it all up with fuse wire and all the rest, like I did the other one. So I put this together in just a temporary way. As you can see, it's just slapped together here. It's just barely holding, so it's not all straight like it would be. I don't want to mash it all down because this is a real pain to get it back apart, and I'm going to have to take it apart. So I just got it put together like that. I've wrote down my information. I'm at 2.99 volts on that date, and I've actually marked the bad cell, and I wrote on there maybe dropping with a question mark, so that's the one that I'll be double checking in the next 72 hours. I know 72 hours isn't enough time, but that's all I got. So at that point I'll go ahead and put my magnets and nickel strips back on here so that it's all in all the parallels are in series. I'm making a 12 volt battery, and I'll hook it up to my solar charge controller and bring it back up as much as I can in the short time I'll have some sun. It's probably not going to bring it up a lot because 100 watt solar panel isn't going to do a whole lot, but it should bring it up to above 3, and that's really all I want for storage. So anyway, stay tuned for that in a couple of days.